Imagine coming home after a long day only to be met with a tense atmosphere, a familiar argument, starting of a silent treatment or something like that.
Women tend to bring up the issues the wrong way. Women tend to bring up issues that you never do this enough, you never do that enough. Why are you home late? Da, 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 da. And they start going and going and going and going. And they bring up this topic and then that one and that one and that one. I thought we were talking about the spaghetti. Why are we all of a sudden like, I don't like your mother-in-law and I never loved you? The governments have shown that they can predict with accuracy someone getting divorced by monitoring, I think that the first 3 minutes of a conversation. Can you imagine that? They could predict whether or not you and your spouse will stay together. The first 3 minutes of a conversation is so critical to focus on how the conversation is being held, not what the topic is about. We're basically saying we can't control ourselves, so we need our women to control us. So when she gets everything, like, just think about how that sounds. That sounds kind of weak, right? If I know I'm walking into a place where I'm being disrespected, I got to stop the disrespect. I don't care what the topic is. I don't care how sad you feel. I don't care how lonely you are. We may not like it, may not sound manly, but we got to breathe, right?
True.
I cannot express this enough. The importance of learning breath work. Breath work literally calms down your entire nervous system, taking you from sympathetic, which is active and reactive and all that, to parasympathetic, which is just really calm and cool and rest and digest. And that's where you can actually make good decisions, right? So once I started doing that breath work, I started actually being able to stop and think, like, okay, well, oh, she's not yelling at me. Listen, stop doing that. Because you can't change her anyways. So if you sit there reflecting about all the bad she did, you can't change her. You need to be focusing
Yeah.
on, okay, what set me off? Where did I lose control? Like the definition of insanity, doing the same thing, expecting a different result. And how many of us have been on that same hamster wheel over and over again?
You mean we set up emotional intelligence training so that you can handle all these type of angles and stuff that goes on at home.
You didn't say anything to her. You didn't say what you thought. You didn't say what you felt. You didn't say what you want. All you did was just come down on her. How can I
Right.
make it so this conversation doesn't go wrong? You know, what part am I playing in this situation? How can I start taking responsibility for the things I'm doing? Make sure your side of the street is clean first. Because if you're just focusing on what she's supposed to be doing and she's just focused on what you're supposed to be doing, then ain't no one going to be doing what they're supposed to be. Because here's the thing, as you get better, everything around you gets better as well. That's the crazy part, Gordon, because like, the power never left you. You just give it away.
True. True.
So you got to stop giving it away. Nobody talks to me that way. Wife, kid, mother, boss, stranger, pastor, president, congressman, don't matter.
It
That's what
doesn't.
boundaries are all about. This is how I
And I
want to
was
be.
just
And I don't care who you are or what place you have in my life. You will not talk to me that way. Women never want to be accountable for their actions, right? This is the key thing to make any woman in your life be accountable for what she does. If you do everything we're saying, and then you set that boundary and you enforce it and you walk away, this is what you're going to get. She has no choice but to look at her own behaviors. So to change her behavior, she has to take accountability for it. And once that starts happening, you keep holding that boundary and holding that line, you're going to see the problem solved in just like that.
if it's perfect, something's wrong.
So what if she gets mad? Honestly, so what? Okay, she gets mad. Whatever. And honestly, if she gets violent, you call the police. I'm gonna keep it a stat. Call the police. She putting her hands on you because that's a whole nother thing as well, like domestic violence against men and things like that. I promise you, if you're willing to do the work, you will get the results you're looking for. I promise you that.